All right, here on Punch to Face Radio, we are talking to Mike Bruno. Now, Mike Bruno is going to be part of Titan FC 34, July 18th, live on UFC Fight Pass. Mike, man, how you feeling? How's training camp going down there in beautiful Florida?
I'm feeling great. Training camp's going great. I've been training hard all year round, and I'm excited to fight.
And you're going to be facing off with a fellow veteran in Dakota Cochran. Now, when you kind of look at him as far as you guys' style goes, do you see any kind of similarities there or anything that's kind of glaring when this fight was announced to you, like, hey, you got Dakota Cochran here in July? Is anything that kind of you said, oh, I can jump on this, or a weak point that you see in his game?
Yeah, I've done my research and saw how he wins his fights, how he loses, and this is a great opponent for me. And both Titan veterans, both have a lot of experience. It's a great matchup, I think.
Well, absolutely. Now for you, we haven't seen you in the cage here since Titan FC 31 back in October. What have you been doing since in the downtime since then? Or, did you have an injury why we didn't see you or anything like that? Because
no. My manager is Lex McMahon, who works with Titan FC, and he's kind of managing me. When I know October might seem like a while ago to some people, but the Lex as my manager feels that this is the right time for me. Not in March. They wanted me to really think things through, I guess, and the fight gods wanted that as well. They didn't want me to, get a fight gods and Titan and Lex. They didn't want me to fight in February or March or April. They saw that I got my win in Halloween. They saw me enjoy the holidays, they know I needed to add some more tools to my game. So they felt like that period was exactly the amount of time I needed to deliver the fans what they deserve to see.
So with that being said, during that time frame that you've been away and not quote unquote active in the cage with the fight, but you've been down there sharpening iron there at American Top Team. What was this? What were things that you might have drilled a little bit more during this time away that you were doing that you didn't do previously that you want to work on?
That's a great question, because I'd say in the last 6 to 8 months, I'm learning something like every day. I do a lot of research study. I'm always on YouTube. I'm watching everyone's techniques. I'm even watching those crazy finishes you see in the amateurs and those smaller MMA shows when a kid puts on a freaky submission. I'm watching all the weight cutting everyone's doing, how everyone's damaging themselves, who's cutting weight the right way. I'm getting with new coaches. I got the Bellator champ at 155, Will Brooks, who's learning something every week, and I'm like him. I'm learning something every week over there, just waiting for my shot.
Now, does it make it a little bit easier to prepare for this fight at Titan FC? Like you said, American Top Team, you guys have somebody fighting almost every week in somebody's promotion, but you're also going to have a fellow fighter in Andrew Wittman, who's also going to be coming up to Kansas City as well for his fight on the same card. Does it make things a little bit easier that way when you have somebody else who's going to be in the trenches with you, going to be on the same card, for you guys to kind of get together and prepare for your fights, but as an individually, but also as a team, preparing for that card and that event?
Yeah, that's awesome. In fact, I'm going to be the only South Florida American Top Team Coconut Creek representative there. So I'm going to be and Andrew Whitney used to live down there, so I think he's in the same locker room with me, and that'll be cool to see him there. But at the same time, I'm the type of guy where if there was a fight in Guam, where I fought before, or a fight in the middle of nowhere, and I'm the only ETT guy, I'm fine with that. I just want to be a fighter and get booked for fights, so I'm just happy I'm fighting.
Now, as you say, you want to get booked for fights. Are you going to put the pressure on Lex after this fight, and especially if you're able to come out here, injury free with the win over Dakota Cochran, to push him and say, "Yo, I want to fight here. At least a couple more times for the year is out," or is that just going to be one of those things you're going to leave it in his hands and say, you know, you've been doing a good job so far, and just kind of listen to what he says.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna, and I also I have like a relationship with him where we take things one thing at a time. You know, and so we're gonna see like what happens with this fight, and take it from there. You know, we all have, I have goals to make money in the sport. That's what I've been, working for the last 10 years. So, one fight at a time.
Well, absolutely. Now, as you said, with Dakota Cochran here and this fight, is it important to go out and make a splash and even getting a finish over him, because he's coming off back-to-back losses via rear naked choke. He actually just suffered one here about a month ago in his last bout out. Is that something to where you feel that you kind of have to do to kind of make your presence known there within the lightweight division here for Titan FC, and kind of make some noise for yourself and get on the streak and get a stoppage win over him?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm training very hard, and I want to deliver, to the fans what they've been wanting to see out of me, or and what I want to see out of myself. And every fight is an audition for your next fight. So it's gonna be a good show.
Well, absolutely. Now, like you said, you're auditioning, if you will, because now Titan FC is on UFC Fight Pass, and as I've been talking to both Jeff and some other fighters who are part of the card, how big of a deal is this now for the organization you're with, and for you as a fighter yourself, to where now more people who